truck race, but this first spot on, spot off topic, Tony Stewart calls the truck race a show. We have a bunch of other quotes, and we actually have a clip of Tony talking about it.
Any of these young kids, tonight's the example that you want to go off of, not last night. That was an S show last night.
S show.
And the scary part, and I had conversations with people today about it, and what scares me is these kids watch that and think that that's what they're supposed to do. And you go to go-kart races and kids' parents are fighting because one kid's dumping another kid because that's what they see on TV. And tonight was a great example that that's not how you have to race. You can race clean, you can race door to door, you can race hard, but you can race each other with respect. And I think that's the Truck Series has a 0% amount of it.
Obviously, we touched on a lot of what happened in the truck race already, but we have not touched on Corey Heim, Carson, Hocevar, but spot on, spot off on Tony's topic. Tony's quote there.
I'm spot on. We've talked about it before. We've said the Truck Series has changed, and it has a lot. It's not as much fun. It doesn't have, when Brad had his truck teams and Ryan Blaney was in them, there was a lot more respect back then when you had in the Truck Series, and it just seems like it's progressively gotten worse.
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted the other night. It was, and Carson, like, God almighty. Like, we just talked. We've been singing his praises here for about a month and a half, 2 months.
Brett had got back on board.
About Brett.
I mean, he got a T-shirt on.
Brett had the T-shirt on. I saw him in the I was like, my goodness. But he just screwed up, and I saw it coming. Like, you saw the lap before. And listen, here's where it is. The 11 was the best truck. It was pretty clear all night long. He was the best truck. I thought that I was curious, like the strategy, the way it played out, made it a little more interesting, obviously, and because I was like, man, he might be in trouble here because a lot more trucks did that flipping of the stage than I think they were
back on that restart.
Yeah, I think he was further back than he wanted to be, but he was still going to win. And now, I mean, the 42 wasn't very good. I mean, they were probably third or fourth best truck of the playoff guys, and the 11 catches him, runs him down, catches him, passes him, and you're like, you know what? I still got a set of tires laying in there. I'm beat right now. Like, at that point, you just, hey, all right, it is what it is.
There's going to be 37 more cautions, I just bide my time.
I still got time here. But what happens is you see he's blocking the out of him as he catches him. Then as soon as he catches him, he's trying to pack air, and then he dives into 3 and loses the nose. Or sorry, dives into 1. I'm still back racing there 5 years ago.
I did that 7 times yesterday.
I never got used to it.
So, and he slides across the apron and cleans him out. It's like, my God.
Did he get tight? Did he get to the gas too soon? Did he do it on purpose?
On the replay,
which one are you picking?
I think I saw Corey wiggle a little bit, and because Corey definitely entered in a lane that he wasn't really wanting to enter in to try to protect, and I think Carson was going to be so close at any point, any little slip or anything, they're going to hit. I don't know if Carson went in there necessarily to turn him right away, but I think that slip there gave him an opportunity to hit him. I don't think he wanted to wreck him, but he did.
I don't think it was intentional, but it's just.
But it happened.
Yeah, like that was the only way you were going to get back in front of him, and then, like, it's just his track record doesn't matter if it's intentional or not because it looks intentional.
I agree. I think it probably wasn't intentional.
Listen, I don't think
we're still there to win the race. I wanted to win that race just like you did.
Oh, we fought, we battled, because you guys drove up to us a couple times, and
yeah, I mean, we're all there to win, right?
We raced clean.
I
You
look
weren't
back,
blocking me. I wasn't blocking you.
Look back at this Truck Series thing though, which turned into a complete debacle. We all agree that was a debacle, but the Carson thing. Listen, nobody was more vocally against how he was racing and how he was acting and the things he was doing on a racetrack than I was. I burnt the guy to the ground, and then
I loved it.
I
mean, I'm normally don't say much, but when that was going on, I was liking.
I mean, because it was every week he was doing it, right? And then it's like he admits it. Okay, I have a problem, and then he comes on here and he talks about his problem, and you can tell that he realizes I have got to make progress in this area, or no one's going to hire me eventually. This is going to be my way out of the sport if I don't fix it. When Dale Jr. sits me down, the first thing he says to me is, "You ain't going to wreck my cars, are you?" That's the first words out of his mouth.
Well, it was the same conversation that the guy, what's the guy that drives the 1 again?
Ross
was going to have yesterday had he messed with the 12. Because he got talked to at some point, remember, and then he started running like he had a plug wire off.
Darlington.
Right. And then he comes on and is doing great yesterday, but then he's trying to run over one of the championship guys. And I'm not saying he's not supposed to race.
Right.
But if he wrecks the 12 yesterday with 75 laps to go or 175 to go, just being you're back at square one, getting talked to, and then you got a whole half season to try to put that back together, in my opinion.
I just think that Carson needs a mentor, and maybe he has one, but I think he needs a full-time mentor.
Hey, I'm
You're available.
yeah.
He needs somebody.
I don't think that's going to help.
He needs somebody. Listen, Carson, he's obviously got Tyler Green going with him to the Cup Series. Tyler Green leaving Harrison Burton Penske Racing to go to Spire Motorsports. Like, Tyler has got to wear this guy out next year and remind him several times during a race when he sees him get in a position where, A, he could do something stupid, or B, he could lose his temper. You can't do this right here. Because now Carson is almost back. I don't think he's back fully at square one because the four of us just said we don't know that he wrecked him on purpose. But nonetheless, he wrecked the guy that's leading the championship in a situation where there's only two of you really in contention to win it.
We were watching it. I don't think any of us were surprised that it happened.
No.
Like,
You
I
saw
mean,
it coming for 2 laps.
You could see the way he was driving. It was like
You can see him entering the corner and know that they're
you
going a
knew
little too far.
you knew that the chance was pretty high.
Well,
of it
something
happening.
happened a half a lap before, right, where they kind of were running each other.
yeah.
They were jimmy jacking.
Yeah, they were definitely.
And they said cut that out, didn't they?
They always knock off your Jimmy.
But I truly think, and I'm gonna die on the sword, fall on the sword, I guess. I don't think Carson Hocevar is nowhere near done fixing himself, but he has to give himself the tools this winter to fix himself before he gets to Daytona. Because if he does this dumb in the draft in the Daytona 500, if he does this dumb at Atlanta the following week when they're in the draft, 3-wide running 185 miles an hour in a one, if he does this dumb at the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th race of the year, he's going to get crucified. He has got to do what Ty Gibbs did. Do you agree that Ty Gibbs had a reputation of being a
Yes.
lited spoiled
Yes.
and racing like a complete idiot?
Yes.
And he's fixed
and
a lot of
Ryan Sieg
that.
agrees too, because I had to go to the truck for that.
He's fixed a lot of that perception this year, though, as a
He has.
rookie, because he
And
didn't
I
race
think
like a fool.
I think he's getting a mentor. There's somebody that's going to show up over there and do some mentoring for him.
There
Maybe
is.
a Sawallicher. You got to have that.